So on the screen, you can see the topics that we are going to discuss today. We will start with the fundamentals of context transition. This will be just introduction of context transition. I'll make a separate detailed video on this topic. But if I have to explain you in one line what is context transition, it is basically conversion of row context to filter context. Now let us understand this practically. So I've got this sales table, and let's just say that I'm creating a new column with the name total sales. Okay, so I'm selecting total sales, and I'm doing the sum of sales quantity. So I'm selecting sales quantity. Now let's see the output. We can see the output has got 925 for each and every row. Why do you think this is happening? This is happening because of the row context. So what is Power BI doing? Using this sum function, it is doing the sum of, this is a quantity. So it is doing the sum of all the quantities, and that sum is 925, and every row we are observing 925. But ideally this is not right, because every row has got different value, isn't it? So for every row we are observing 925, which is not correct. The correct value should be 2, 4, 5, respective rows value should be there. And for this we need context transition. How do we do that? We will simply make use of calculate function. So I'm making use of calculate function. I'll just wrap this with calculate, that's all, nothing else, and I'll just see the output. So what do you think exactly has happened? Context transition has happened. Earlier it was observing the row context. Now it is observing the filter context. It is filtering the data for the respective row, and that is done using this calculate function. So this is called as context transition. So if interview it is asked, at least you can tell these basics. Okay. So this was all about context transitions. So now the next thing that we should learn is concatenate function. For that I'll make use of this customer table. Let us create a new column. Let us call this as state region. Okay, let's say I want to concatenate this state and region. So I'll make use of concatenate function. Text one is state, so I'll take customer state, comma, the next text two is region, so I'll say customer region. Okay, and if I apply this, this is giving me state and region, but there are two problems. There is no space. Secondly, what if I want to join more than two columns? So here we can see that concatenate is only allowing us to join two columns, but let's say I want to concatenate three columns, and also I want to have the space. For that case, there is one more option, that is we will simply take the customer state, and we'll make use of this ampersand symbol, and then we will take customer region. Okay, I'm just using ampersand symbol, and if I hit the enter button, it is giving me the state and region. Now let's say I also want third column, that is city. So all I need to do is put one more and I'll take customer city. And now if I see the output, it is giving me city as well. But now let's say I want that there should be a space between every single value. So for that it's very simple. After ampersand, we will take this space, and you just need to have this space between the two ampersand values. That's all. Now if I hit the enter button, you will see that there is a space after the state. So similarly we can do for others also. Again, all I need to do is need one more ampersand, and in between I will keep this space. Okay, all right, I think this is the expected output that we wanted. So this is how we make use of the concatenate function. Now the next function that we should learn is length functions. I'll say customer length. Okay, so for that I just need to make use of the len, and let's say I want to know the length of customer name. So I'll say customer name, close the brackets, and see the output. It is giving me the length for every customer. It will count spaces as well. So we can see that for the first customer there are total 12 characters including the space. That's how customer length is calculated. Now let's say the next function that we want to learn is count rows function. Okay, so we need this card, and we'll create a measure. So I'll go to modeling and create a new measure. Let us call this measure as total rows. Then we will make use of the count rows function. So I'll take count rows. For any table I can count the rows. Let's say I want to count the rows for customer, so I can select customer. Let's say I want to calculate the rows for sales table, so I'll take sales. And you need to notice that I'm allowed to put only the table names and not the column names, because we are counting the rows of a table. That's what is the purpose of count rows. So I'll take count rows sales and let us see the output. So I just need to drag it here, and we can see there are 300 rows in the sales table. Okay, now what we will do is we'll take a table and let us take category first. So we have got these categories, and for each category I will use this total rows function. So I'll just drag it here. Okay, so we can see that there are total 300 rows, as we know that, and this is the bifurcation of those based on the categories. Okay, now similarly, let's say I want to make use of the distinct count function. What do you think will be the use of distinct count? Obviously it will give us the distinct count. Okay, so I'll say distinct count. Now I'm allowed to put the column. For the count rows I was allowed to put only the table name, but now I can put the column name as well. So let's say I want to calculate the distinct rows for, let's say, customer IDs. So I'm saying customer IDs. Okay, and so now let us add this new function here. And now if I add this, I can see that the count of rows is 12. Now I can see that the distinct count of customers is 12. So you might get confused here. Why are we not getting the sum? The answer is very straightforward. Okay, I'll take this card and let us put the same measure in this card. We can see there are total 12 customers. We can see in the table as well. See, this is a table, and we can see there are total 12 customers. We can see that, right? Now there are 12 rows, so this is correct. That means this total is also correct. But when we put this category filter, we were expecting 12, 12, 12, 36, but that is not happening. So why do you think this is happening? So I'll give you the reason for that. The reason is very simple, and that is, when this total count is calculated, it is not considering this category filter. This filter context is not considered. What Power BI is doing here is that it will see the total distinct values for customer ID, and that's all. Now the fact is, when all the 12 customers have done the purchase for electronics also, furniture also, and stationery also, that is why we are seeing here as well. Okay, so I hope you understand this. I hope this will add some value to your life. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you comment down your feedback. Bye.